I've got it trimmed nice and also had the highlights done all over again. And I'm getting ready for a first date night in a while with my husband. He and I just decided we're gonna get a babysitter once a month or so and go out and spend some time together. I get home, I put on my favorite skirt and my boots and my purple shirt, and he puts on clothes that are not sweatpants. He works from home. And the babysitter shows up and she says to our 4-year-old, "Are you gonna cry?" And she says, "No." And we leave, we say goodbye, and we walk down to Moody Street. And the night's starting to come alive, and we walk down to Waltham Works. Paul punches in the code, and we walk up the stairs. We're not going to his office, we're not going to a restaurant, but we sit at the big table overlooking Moody Street from the big glass windows in his office. We take out our laptops, and we play a good round of Dungeons and Dragons. The next time, about a month or two later, we walk again down to Moody Street. This time we head to Lizzie's, and we pick up 2 pints of ice cream, and we run to the trunk of our car, we put them in, and we sit in the front seats, and then his phone beeps again. Oh, another delivery to pick up down the street at Angelo's Pizza. So we go to Angelo's Pizza, and we say, "Hey, we're the DoorDash deliverers here for the pickup here at Angelo's Pizza." And we get the order, we go to our car, and my husband's been doing DoorDash for a few months, and I finally get to go along. And it's our other date. And at one of the deliveries, we drop off the 2 pints of ice cream, and then we sneak back to the car, and we see one guy come out. It looks like the house is pretty dark. Kind of grab the ice creams and run back inside, and I'm wondering what one guy is doing with 2 pints of ice cream that night. And we giggle in our car like 2 little teenagers. Another date night, another month. We go to some event called WaW. I'll have to tell you that story another time. But one of our weirdest dates, one of our most unique outings, starts out pretty normal. We pack a picnic basket, cheese, crackers, a little beer, and we grab a picnic blanket, we fling it all over our shoulders, and we walk down to the river. And we're looking for a dock, an empty dock preferably, so we have a little quiet space to ourselves. We keep walking, and every dock and every little inlet we see, there's people there. So finally, we see one dock has a woman and 2 men, probably in their early 20s, and they're drinking some beers, and we have our little secret stash of a few craft beers, so we figure, good company. And we join them. We set up our picnic blanket. I'm facing the people, Paul is facing me, and we have a lovely conversation about climate change, of course. It's a hot summer day, and that's all that's on our minds. But towards the end of our date, I glance over at the 3 people on the dock, and I see the woman take her beer can, toss it over her back into the river. And the guy that's sitting next to her gives her this look, and she just giggles and takes the whole packet of empty beer cans and tosses it all into the river. And then they walk away. And Paul keeps talking to me. He doesn't know any of this has happened. And after they leave, I say, "You never guess what I just saw." And I tell him. And he's like, "Why didn't you tell me?" I was like, "Because I didn't want you to start a thing." And he says, "I'm gonna go and take all those out of the river." Now, I grew up in Boston. I understand that you do not, under any circumstances, go in the Charles River. A few years prior, my daughter lost her shoe in the river. Bye-bye shoe. Paul did not grow up in Boston. He doesn't listen to anything about local Boston lore. He just wants to clean the river, which I get. So I say, how about a compromise? How about we just get what we can reach, maybe get some sticks and try to fish it all out. Speaking of fishing, there's a guy on the dock that's just come to set up his fishing pole, and he catches wind of what my husband is about to do, and he says, you know, there's snapping turtles in there. And I'm like, oh, great. That adds to the drama even more. Like, Paul, we really shouldn't go in the river. But he insists. He has long sweatpants on. I just have these pairs of shorts on. But he's the one that goes all the way in the river up to his knees and fishes out all the trash. And we don't have a trash bag, so we fold up our picnic blanket and put it all in. And on our walk back home, we can't help but pick up every other piece of trash that we find. And we get home, we open the door, and the babysitter's giving her nightly report on our daughter, and then she can't help but keep looking at Paul's pants. Like, what's going on here? Do these guys play D&D? They go door dashing? I don't know what's happening. Finally, we just tell her, we're like, some people drop trash in the river and we have to pick it up. And she's like, oh, okay. And that was it. So we rinse it all off, we recycle it, and we go to bed. And as I'm drifting off to sleep, I hear Paul, do you mind that all our dates are really weird? You're not the type of person that would go and get trash out of the Charles River. And I'm sort of half asleep. So I just turn over and give him a hug.